Welcome to Let's All Feel Better. Today's fabulous podcast or videocast, I guess, if you're watching us on either Real Women's Network or YouTube, which so many of you are, and we thank you for that. We love reading your comments, and
yes, we do.
And feeling like we're not just doing this into the void, which which it can feel like, certainly in this time of so much time alone and quarantined and such. It's nice to have you virtually reach out to us. It definitely.
Okay, give us your name, Kalista.
I'm Kalista Parrish.
I'm always trying to make sure that you give us your name.
Yeah, we're getting there. I was thanking the folks first. I feel like we have to thank. And yours, young lady?
And I'm Liz Kiefer.
There you go.
There we go. We know who we are. Thank God we can start from there.
The mechanic and the mechanic and the machine. No, wait. We were saying keeping the machine well oiled and focused is a lot of my goals. But anyway, yeah. So welcome you today. We are discussing some bigger issues, but they definitely, I think, relate to where we are here in our COVID time as we move forward. A little bit of birthing analogies and some other great wisdom. And so we could just go ahead and jump right on in there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for that new term, Lisdom. Which is like Kalista came up with this term when we were talking ahead of time, and it's just my favorite.
It is.
And it's just you have the most amazing way with words. I mean, you are my wordsmith forever.
As long as they don't have to have pre-existed, I'm great at making up words. I had experience with Karina at a certain point in her life when she was like, is that a real word or did you make that up? I was like, I'm not sure. But
well, if it's not a real word,
right? I'll know what it
now.
Is. One of them is
it should be.
Bajiggity, which I think has got to be a word, right? Somebody's said it before.
Feels like a word to me.
Yeah, but it's definitely in my lexicon, and we definitely have our very own lexicon, which now Lisdom will be added to.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, well, this week it's an interesting one because I really have been feeling the next wave of everything: boredom, anxiety. I know I'm looking at my son going back to college, and he's made the decision to go back, and he's going to Houston, so he's going into the next, the thick of it, and going to be living off campus, and he's getting it all figured out, but it definitely is instigating waves of anxiety, and I was interacting with my coaching community and listening to, of course, Martha Beck, because she's just a very wonderful, inspirational mentor of mine. But she had some wonderful things to say this week that I wanted to share, and I've sort of taken them and made them into my own form of wisdom, but but worthy of sharing this idea that it is like a birthing metaphor. We are being birthed. New ways of being are going to be born out of this. It's already happening. I mean, we are being forced to have a new way of dealing with schooling in the fall, be it whatever hybrid scenario.
I made the mistake of saying to Karina that this, who knows, maybe all 4 years of your college experience, you guys will have to wear masks and this and that. Like, maybe it's just part of the thing. And she said that was not the right thing to say. She was like, no! I was like, I'm sorry. I just meant we need to, yes, we need to This is yet another.
That's overwhelm. 4 years? No. I'm going 4 months at a pop now.
Yeah.
Okay. This is about like,
I
ooh,
was trying to make it seem like this is how college is, like this is all, trying to
be smart for that.
trying to force my sense of this is going to be okay. It's going to be just like regular school. It's going to be fine in my way of being like, so whatever happens your freshman year, it'll be fine. It's just like all the rest of the years. And that was not.
So brilliant, but I so get it. Oh my God. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people listening that get that too. It's like, no, it's going to be fine. And if it's 4 years of fast, then okay.
No.
We don't need to go.
So back to so birthing. It's a new.
The birthing is like, it's and it is contractions. Like we're feeling, for those of us that have experienced the birthing process, it's like this amazing thing of when the contractions come, because they come and they hit the highest peak, and you think you're not going to be able to get through it, and then suddenly it actually starts to calm down and retreat. And Martha I loved, she said this comment about this is the storm before the calm.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that. I love flipping that one on its ear.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. And knowing that there will be a calm, because that is the nature of the universe, to move forward and expand and contract and expand. And we're in the middle of a huge birthing experience. But I love the idea. So 2 questions were posed in this birthing analogy. And one is when we're feeling the circumstances around us are just coming in on us and getting heavy and out of control and oppressive, not only the heat that's oppressive right now, but the circumstances are coming in on us and we're like, so
over which you have no control.
Over which you have no control, but you want to have control, just like you want to be able to control how your own child experiences school this fall. Like I do too. I want to know everything is perfect. I mean, I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning the other night trying to figure out how I could drive to Houston from New York, and it would take 24 hours. How long could I drive through for 24 hours so I could get to a store in order to deliver food to his door if he needed it? Like, that's how crazy making I was. Like, but where would I stop, and how would I go to the bathroom, because no bathrooms are opening? I mean, I was a lunatic. Okay. So the question you can pose yourself is, how can I give up control of the circumstances? Like what are the circumstances that I could just give up control? I can't control what he does on a day-to-day basis there. But we can control, what can you control is the moment and him being prepared, and him having a plan, and the school having a plan, and, delegating. There will be people there that can help. And anyway, but the idea of when you're really on overwhelm with these circumstances, how can you give up control over your circumstances?
You can't think of anything else.
When you can't think of anything else. So what would happen if you just gave up control, trying to control your circumstances, and then just focused only on what you can? And that's when we get back to your surfboard on the wave. That's really what your business is. You're my business, your business, what you can control in the moment, and in order to prepare whatever. So it was like, okay, so there's one way of dealing with that. Oh my gosh, I don't think I can go on anymore. How do I keep going when I think I can't go on anymore? Well, how can I give up my control over circumstances and see how that feels? What that space it allows you to then do. And then the second, because it's not always just about that, So what happens when, let's say, the contraction then wanes, right? It's like, and it's like you realize that there's so much stuff that's being taken from you. You know, like, whoa, I don't have the freedom to go I can't take a driving trip and use a public bathroom along the way because most of them are not open. At least that's how it is in New York. So, you know, it's like little things like that. Ooh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
we go further. Other
yeah,
places.
yeah. I'm not quite sure where everything is with everybody, but and in this moment in time, at least a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when you have that, oh, things are just being taken from you. Um, the question can be, how do I give up the self that needs to have those circumstances in place? Needs to have that happen. How can I give up the self that needs to make sure that my son um, uh, has the iconic, you know, fall semester? And
I freaking
it's
love
I mean, these are interesting
that.
questions that like can go, oh wait, they're both needed at different times. So let me just give you one more. It's a food kitchen thing because I can't go through my week without having a lesson learned via
Lessons from the kitchen.
meals. But
None
this
of them
one,
about cooking, really.
I know it's not about cooking, but this was an interesting one where I applied this and it really helped me. So my daughter's is an amazing cook and she's kind of taken over the meal planning this particular month. She's actually started to work for my husband's company. He's building a lovely building and she's going to be the office manager. But part of that is like, you want to make a meal plan? Because she's really knowledgeable about this. So she made this amazing dinner the other night, which I was so grateful for. And in it, there was just something that my son doesn't like or eat, like it was a crumpled kind of form of cheese and whatever, it doesn't really matter. But
Irrelevant.
she felt bad. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. We, you know, whatever. We all were like, oh, that's too bad. He wasn't even complaining. He just wasn't eating it. And I took it upon myself to show him what he could eat. But you can pull the gnocchi out of it and you can do this and you can do that. And I wanted him so much to be able to appreciate or experience the meal and eat with us. I tried so hard, and then he snapped at me in a big way of
Or being all in
okay.
the business, by the way.
Point where I went, oh, you know, and then there's that whole thing of me going, you know, I came in to rescue and then I became the victim, right? Got that one. I went, whoa, do I feel victimized? But and then of course I was schooled later on by you're mothering, you're too mothering, and it was really upsetting. And then I applied this. I said, okay, how can I utilize one of these two questions? Do I give up the control over the circumstances, or do I give up the self that needs to make sure everybody's happy? And that's what did it. I went, oh, I have to let go of that part of me, that self, that it's its job to make sure that everybody was happy and, you know, received what I think they needed.
That's
And it was a really fascinating shift that happened, that once I gave up the need for my son to, you know, be happy. Hey, he can make his own dinner. If he didn't want to eat that, he can make his own dinner, right? Like I have to give up the need to control being the one in charge of that.
I think it's interesting though too. I think that it happens more and more during this time. I feel like I find myself going above and beyond, out of my way, that I've ended those behaviors years ago with my child, but now that I
They've
feel
all
like
happened.
now that everything, oh, of course, but I mean, obviously you never put anything away, but that during this time we're all kind of, you know, I feel like I want to just make her happy because so much happiness has been, withheld from her, so that I just find myself going above and beyond, and then feeling hurt when she's like, I'm good, back off on it,
Yeah.
because I'm like, but it's something that I can do. I can get the exact thing that you like, and I can make this in the exact way that you like, and I can do that because I can't make your freshman year of college be right, and I can't make your senior year have been right. You know what I mean? So this is something that I can. So I think that I would guess many of us, certainly myself, I hear that the idea of trying to let go of that person that has to make everyone happy is even more challenging right now, because it feels like something you have control over, making somebody else happy.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. It kind of feels like there's guilt there. I feel guilty that you're not getting what you need, so therefore I'm going to make it up to you.
Yeah, sure.
In over here, I'm going to do what I can, and that really is like that little motors running of. It's my job to make sure that you get everything you want.
Yeah. Because I can't give you so much other. But yeah, no, it's definitely true, and we will definitely. I went to sleep thinking about this the other night. I don't think it was last night, but that in the weeks to come, we will definitely, or the months to come, definitely be having big discussions on how much space that I'm having to hold for my child to grow up and have an experience. That this is not yet, but that whole the concept of still wanting to mother them and still wanting to, there's that too. It's like,
so what do you need to give up control over? And what part of yourself, your identity, what identity do you need to give up?
Yeah.
Let go of, and it's born. It does get born into something else. You do it. Just because you let go of it, mothering in that way, you end up starting to mother in another way.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and it's just that, but we'll get into some of the growth of of motherhood and the second birthing and the labor pains and from all of that, birthing them out again now, into the world where they are to be a self-sufficient grown-up.
Right. And it's so fascinating. I love that you brought this up, that in this time we're actually, it is true. Like I'm retreating to ways of mothering that I used to do when they were younger.
Yeah. When they were babies, and I was like, oh, I want to be, like that kind of thing. Like I want to, to be like all these special things that I do for you. And it's like, okay, but I feel like I'm definitely doing that more now in this. As if I had something to do with why we're in this situation.
Well, it's true.
I did not. For the record, I did not have anything to do with this situation. No, it's an interesting dynamic.
So this also brings to mind something else that I was thinking about, because I was reading this amazing book, another one. I'm telling you, if I could be paid for reading really important, powerful thought leaders, I would have 7 houses all over the world.
Liz does all the reading for all of us.
No, but this is a wonderful book called Die Wise. It's by Stephen Jenkinson, and it's a manifesto for sanity and soul. And oh my goodness, it's amazing. But it's packed with wisdom. But he talks about, he's trying to, this is a whole other podcast, because this is about palliative care and for people who are facing
end of life,
terminal end of life, but he talks about viewing it as a battle versus a battle means you win or lose. Like, I'm gonna fight this, which means if you don't fight it, what, you lose, and honestly, there is like you won't be immortal, you will die. So it means you will lose at some point. So what is it? You're viewing it. I love that idea of like, oh, wait a second. If it's not a battle versus it's wrestling with, which implies you're not denying that it's there, but you're working with it. You're dancing with it. It's like a choreography. You're wrestling with it. You may not like it, but you're engaged with it, and you're working with it, and it feels more of the ebb and flow, and it feels like, oh wait, I can allow for contractions of like overwhelm to come and then calm, and and I almost thought of it as like a dance that you're working with until the music changes, and then it moves into something else. So I just started thinking about that in terms of fighting reality. Either like fighting reality doesn't win, fighting it, but wrestling with the reality, I can allow myself to do, because then it allows me to actually be cranky and not like this, but I'm in it, right?
Be present, yeah.
And I'm present, and I'm willing to be in the process of it. And I'm hearing, oh my goodness, I have cats who's mewing. I think we're getting a little bit of rain here, or
Yeah,
thunder.
I'm starting to hear thunder here.
And I think
Not
they're
rain
scared
yet.
to want to get under the bed.
I didn't know cats also react to
I know, I
barometric
have to
pressure.
open the door for her. Hold on.
Okay, I thought only dogs reacted to barometric pressure that way, but
Yeah, no. This is clay.
like cows do, and also, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, those were my deep thoughts about, salads with crumbled cheese in them. And
Well, it really all comes back to cheese, doesn't it? Doesn't it all?
I'd be like, of course it all comes back to a dinner, a cooking.
Yeah, we'll get into the whole dietary restriction things that's going on in my household right now, but and which also goes with that physical activity that it was actually reminding me with Michael and I have been going walking every other day. We walk up the hill, the mountain, and I like to, when we get to the super steep parts, I like to just do them really big strides and really long and really fast and just get over with. And he was like, well, but you're putting more pressure on your knee, which has been bothering me. He's like, but if you do these little steps and just kind of, you could just, it makes it so that you just do the little steps, and then you're not putting as much pressure on dragging, you're pulling yourself up. And he's like, I said, but it takes longer. He said, yeah, but it's better for you. It's okay. And he's like, and that kind of idea of staying present with the terrain that you're at instead of trying to be, done with it.
Wow.
But so, yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
A little bit what you're saying about like wrestling, like that kind of idea.
I'm going to shuffle up the hill.
Just like, just kind of be present, be like, okay, this sucks still. It's still straight uphill and I really don't care for it, but at least it's not, doesn't
I'm not fighting it
physically as much. And that also allows me to see that, it actually goes up a little there. No, it actually goes down. Like,
I'll learn about myself as I do this, and I'll be a different person having gone through it. And it's not, the idea of winning and losing that's actually what's scary. It's like, she loses, they lose if they go and they don't get what they want. It's like, well, really? Do they really lose? Because maybe they're gaining something that we have no clue.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like, these, it's part of why she's insisting on going to study on campus, is because, as I think I may have said, she feels like this is her experience as the class of 2020. This is her experience. This is, and who knows what's going to come of this? You know what I mean? What thoughts and geniuses might come from all that they've experienced. And
well, I had
this is a different experience, and also, as your lovely husband said to me the other day, that it's, college is very different from when my husband went, or he went, or I went, or you went, or it's like, it's that,
He was coaching you the other day. I can't believe it, Bobby the coach. It's like, oh, he's been learning some stuff.
He was very cute. He was very much showing off his chops, his lisdoms. I'm so excited about that term. Yeah. But anyway, so yes. So tune back in with us soon, friends, for more lisdom. I like it as the concept of Liz reads all this stuff so that I don't have to, and then interprets it through her brilliance so that I can understand it, which I'm not sure I would be able to do if I just read it straight from the book. Doesn't really work as well for me. So it's wonderful. I get to have your, I get to have all this knowledge, but I don't have to struggle through it as much.
Well, I love applying it to the little things. And I mean, those were big concepts that I applied to a small situation, but I learned so much because that really changed me when I was like, wow, what if I just let go of that identity?
Well, and sometimes I think it's easier to
the ball game completely.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's easier to put it into practice or recognize it when it's smaller stuff. It's harder when it's big stuff, sometimes. So if you can see it in your salad, then you can see it everywhere. If you see it in your salad, you can see it in your life. But yeah. Well, as always, good on you, Liz. Thanks for making me feel better. I don't know about all of you, but
thanks for listening and allowing me to completely self-coach myself and then just unload it on everyone. I'm just so happy that everyone has a really, really clear concept of my relationship to food.
And as my daughter said the other day, wait, do you refer to us by name? I said, oh, yes, we do. Yes, people, yes, we do. We refer to you by name. I'm so sorry. We thought we weren't going to do that in the beginning, but it just didn't seem authentic. And, we are really all about authenticity and honesty around here. So it definitely feels like.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I had okay, I know we're just about to end, but I had a raccoon show up and wouldn't leave the front of my office. 2 days ago, would not leave, just sat there staring at me. So of course I had to go look
her up. Yeah.
And it's all about the truth and honesty and wisdom that's underneath that mask, and like get ready for a big transformation. And that this will be another podcast. I just wanted, that was a little PS. Raccoon showed up.
Excellent. And we didn't even, the last one we talked about the bears and bats, but we didn't talk about bunnies, which was the other thing that we were talking about, and I've looked that one up. So there we go. That'll be our cliffhanger. Tune in soon to find out more messages from the animal kingdom and all that we're going to do to try and traverse this very rocky road that we are all on.
Give up the battle, but learn to dance the wrestle. Be a wrestler. I just combined all of those together.
Be a wrestler. No, that's not what she meant. No, but yes. Go with the ebb and flows of the contractions, and don't let it all get you overwhelmed all at once. Right. It's not win or lose. It's how you play the game. It's that you're present to play the game.
Shuffling up the hill.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Shuffling up the hill. That's me. All right, folks. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. And once again, as I say, listen to us anywhere you're listening to us now. You can listen to us anywhere you get your podcasts. And catch us on YouTube if you want to see our lovely faces.
Freckled faces.
I was going to say, it's really hot here in the Northeast right now.
It's really hot. I've just had cool hair forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm done. This is what it is.
Yeah, but so see us on YouTube or on realwomen'snetwork.com and keep on tuning in. We love to talk, chat at you.
Let's all feel better. Feel deeper, feel more, right?
Yep. Thanks.
See ya.
As always, you can find us at letsallfeelbetter.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Let's All Feel Better.
And watch us on our YouTube channel. You guessed it, Let's All Feel Better.